So you're tired of making decisions, aren't we all? Well, you might think this is laziness. It might actually be decision fatigue. But what is decision fatigue and how do we get over it? Decision fatigue is the mental and emotional exhaustion that comes from making too many decisions. You can think of it as the cumulative toll that constant decision making takes on our cognitive resources. Now, if you're on this channel, my guess is you're neurodivergent or specifically ADHD. So how do those two interconnect? Well, we know that ADHDers have difficulty filtering out irrelevant information to focus on what's important. I don't know about you, but I could spend forever thinking about a decision instead of actually doing something. I'll spend more time thinking about how to do something or what order to do something than actually doing it, which is so frustrating. So what the heck can we do about it? Well, in today's video, I'm going to give you 6 very specific tips on how to work through decision fatigue and avoid it in the future, all while making no decisions for myself. You might be asking yourself, how am I going to do that? Well, you made all my decisions today for me. Last week over on my Instagram story, I asked you guys what I should do with my day, and you decided. Thank you for casting your votes. I was very surprised on what you guys picked. And if you didn't get a vote this time, go over to my Instagram, give me a follow over there. And if you're not subscribed yet on my YouTube channel, go down there, give me a subscribe, like the video, comment, do all the things. I feel like a real YouTuber. It's so wild. My dream is to hit 300,000 subscribers, and we're actually not that far off. And so if you want to help your friendly neurodivergent neighbor get there, then just give me a little subscribe down below. I'd really appreciate it. Okay, moving on. The first choice that you guys made for me today was to wear a cozy outfit. So I put on my sweatpants, my cozy fall sweater. I was very surprised that you guys didn't want me to get in like a really nice outfit, but I think this is what you associate me with. So it was just the default. You also decided that I was going to make coffee at home instead of going to a cafe. I think you're trying to save me money, and I really appreciate it. So I sat out on my balcony this morning eating breakfast and having coffee with my partner, and it was so lovely. And I've actually brought my coffee with me here to the park. Why am I at the park? You chose this for me. I gave the options of either going to the park and reading my book or going and buying a new book. But again, you guys really want to save me money for some reason. And so I'm not buying a new book. Thanks for that. Instead, I'm sitting in the park and I'm going to read my book for a little bit, drinking my coffee. I'm reading Red Rising right now. I don't know if you guys love this series or not, but please tell me about it down below. But no spoilers. I'm actually really enjoying it thus far. We just got to the games. If you know, you know. If you don't, you should read it. So I'm going to read for the next little bit and tell you our first 2 tips around decision fatigue. I do think there's a possibility it starts raining while I'm here, so we'll do with this until it lasts. Our first decision fatigue tip is to automate or pre-decide as much as possible. Each small decision you are making every day eats into your mental energy. And so by automating things, you're allowing yourself space to make more important decisions. For example, can you automate all of your bills so every month you don't have to make the decision to pay them? Another example is I really enjoy deciding my outfit for the following day during my night routine, and it makes that next morning feel way easier and just supports me. I'm also thinking about later today. One of the decisions you guys made for me was instead of watching a movie at home with my partner, you wanted me to go stargazing, which is so fun. But I'm looking at the clouds and I'm like, shit, it might be more cloud gazing than it is stargazing. But I actually think that I might have a solution for that. If you're a hyperactive ADHDer that struggles to wind down at night, I am about to blow your freaking mind. 3 months ago, I was sent this life-changing product, and after begging them to work with me, I am excited to announce that this video is sponsored by xoxo. xoxo sent me their Galaxy Star Projector, and here is a video of my genuine reaction the first time I used it.
That actually looks so good.
I cannot even begin to put into words how genuinely in love with this product I am. I told my partner that if this were ever stolen from me, I would buy 2, one for everyday use and one as a backup, because that is how essential this is to my life now. I use the Galaxy projector every single night as part of my wind down routine, because if you haven't noticed, I'm hyperactive. And at the end of the day, it's essential for me to wind down. And that is where xoxo comes in. I feel like a goddamn scientist every time I swap out the individual display cards. It feels like I'm using a microscope to explore the stars, which is such an incredible feeling. I love to turn all of my lights off, switch on the projector, and listen to my audiobooks or a podcast at the end of the day. I genuinely feel so much more relaxed because I can enjoy this insane projection on the ceiling. It's hard to capture on video, but this projection is such high quality, it blew our minds the first time we tried it. There are literally 200 million pixel optical lenses, and it rotates so you get to see the whole thing. There are very few resources that I swear by, and xoxo has become one of them. It is essential to my wind down routine and calming down my ADHD brain. So thank you again, xoxo, for introducing me to my new favorite obsession and for sponsoring this video. Now back we go. That was a really good ad integration, wasn't it? My second tip is to use defaults or templates. For example, if there are certain types of emails that you have to send very frequently, can you use an email template and just delete and add things instead of starting scratch every single time? Defaults reduce the number of fresh choices that you have to make. For example, when I go to a restaurant, my default choice is a chicken Caesar salad. If I'm feeling too overwhelmed and I don't want to make a new decision, that's the one I pick every single time. Doesn't change. I also have default outfits that I choose. For example, sweatpants are a great default outfit. Giving yourself like a default work outfit or a default home outfit can take away some of the decisions you have to make on a day-to-day basis. All right, it is starting to rain a little bit, so I'm going to finish up my reading very quickly, and then we're going to go home to do our next choice that you made for me. Now we are home. I gave you guys the option of making me go to the gym and lift heavy or do some soft yoga. Y'all want me to have a cozy ass day and picked yoga. So I'm going to do that now and tell you our next decision fatigue tip. Our next tip is to gamify your decision making. For example, a tool that I love to use for my clients is roll for decision. By gamifying your decision, you're adding novelty and play, which really taps into dopamine. And as ADHDers, dopamine is our driving force, baby. Roll for decision making is essentially this concept where you use a D20 or some sort of dice and write out a bunch of options for you to do, roll it, it makes the decision for you. This actually taps into our pre-decisions as well, which was tip number 1, because you can build out a list of things and constantly go back to that same list every time. For example, creating a chore chart with 10 different options and rolling a D10, you can do 1 or 2 of these chores every single day. So instead of having to really assess your space and figure out what is top priority, you can just decide this way. I find that when I feel really stuck on making a decision, this is so helpful, which actually goes into tip number 4. Tip number 4 is to externalize your choices instead of holding them in your head. Like I said earlier, it can be so easy to just think about choices instead of actually doing anything about them. I find that dumping them all onto a piece of paper can be really helpful. So in the case of making a list, you can maybe write out the 4 things that you want to do, roll a D4, and the decision is made for you. This is a really easy way to combine both of those things, but you can use other tools when externalizing, such as the Eisenhower matrix. And if you want an explanation of how to use the Eisenhower matrix, I'll leave it in the description below because I made a short about it a while ago. Another really nice tool to pair with externalizing is the motivation ladder. It does not work for me or people like me to start with the hardest task and work towards the easiest. It actually helps to work from the easiest task to the hardest. That is because every time we complete something, we're actually building more dopamine into our system, so it feels easier and easier to get things done. Now, understanding your capacity is really helpful here because if you add like 10 things before the hardest thing, you're probably going to burn out by the time you get to your big task. So you need to know where to stop. All right, I'm going to finish up my yoga now, but I had you guys make my next decision for me, which was live stream, hang out with a friend. And you decided hang out with a friend. I think you guys think that I'm alone a lot. So appreciate that. So my friend Steph and I are now hanging out. We're watching stupid little TV shows and doing some crafting. I am coloring my new coloring book. But I wanted to give you another tip. So tip number 5 is using energy-based decision filters. So many neurodivergent people struggle when it comes to understanding our capacities. But once we have learned how to do that, it can be so helpful because on a day that you have very low energy, it's just not realistic to expect yourself to do all of the things, make all of the decisions. So if you can do routines based on your energy levels instead, that's so helpful. For example, in my routines video here, we build our routines based on our energy level. If you are on a minimum type of day, all of your decisions are kind of already made for you based on that energy level you're at. Practicing your interoceptive skills will be really helpful for this, but build out some routines again in advance that are all based around your energy. Back to crafting we go. The next decision that I had you guys make for me was whether we would be cooking dinner at home or getting takeout, and you decided takeout. Thank you. I appreciate that. You didn't let me spend any money elsewhere today, so Greek islands it is.
Candle. Snack.
Food secured.
Yes.
Boy happy. Haley happy.
We just got back with our dinner, and now it is time for us to do our final activity of the evening, which was between stargazing and watching a movie night. And you decided stargazing, except here's the thing. No stars are out tonight, unfortunately, other than the Coco stars. Those ones are always out. So instead, we are going to be doing movie night tonight, and I'm going to give you our final tip once we have set up. Hands up. Hands up. I'm sorry it's dark as fuck in here, but the vibes are cozy. We are now settled in. We're going to eat our Greek Islands takeout, watch The Hobbit together, and I'm going to give you our final tip of the video, which is let somebody else choose for you. When it gets really bad, you can attest to this. I sometimes just ask people to pick for me, and it's super, super helpful. There's also the option of AI, if that's something you're okay with, but a boyfriend is also a good option. So get a boyfriend. Thank you for watching this video, and as always, if no one has told you yet today, I am so proud of you for putting in the work to yourself, because no one else is going to do it for you. So it's pretty fucking cool. You're doing it for yourself. Love you so much, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.